So you want to add off-road lights to your vehicle, but you have no idea where to put them. Bumper, A-pillar, roof? Does it even matter? Yes, it does. I've been a mechanic for the last 10 years, and I will tell you, most people get it wrong. They slap 2 lights on the bumper, call it a day. But each position on your vehicle does something completely different. And if you don't understand that, you're leaving yourself in the dark. Today, I'm gonna walk you around my vehicle and break down every mounting position and what it does, what beam pattern works best there and why. And today, we're using the AUXITO Explorer 1 series lights on our vehicle. So let's get into it. Before we start, I need to shift how you think about off-road lights. Don't think of them as individual lights. Think of them as zones of coverage. Your headlights, they cover one zone, straight ahead, close range. Everything else is kind of a dark spot. The goal with off-road lights is to fill in those dark spots. The side of the trail, far down the road, peripheral areas of your headlights can't reach. Each mounting position covers a different zone. When you layer them together, you get full coverage with no blind spot. That's what separates a vehicle with lights from a vehicle that can actually see at night. The bumper. This is where most people start, and for a good reason. Lights mounted sit at or just below headlights, which means the beams stay low and to the ground and gives you a natural spread of light down the trail. This is your primary forward-facing position. You want your strongest light and your longest throw here. The beam that works best in the bumper is spot or combo. Spot gives you that long distance reach you get so you can see what's coming away before you get to it. Combo gives you distance plus some width, which is more versatile if you're only running one pair. Driving beam can also work here, but it's better suited for slower speeds when you need width more than distance. If you're doing any kind of higher speed trail driving or open desert, spot or combo on the bumper is the move. So some aftermarket bumpers are specifically designed with light pod mounts built in, which make it easier. So on this vehicle, if I had the mounting points available, I would actually mount 2 7.5-inch combo lights right there. So that way I can get a little bit of best of both worlds with throwing as much light as possible forward, but at the same time also give me a little more in the front. But I don't have the mounting spot, so unfortunately, I don't get the benefit of having them there. So another mounting spot you have available for most vehicles is your A-pillar. Now, there's different ways you can mount them as well. You can have what I have, which is a hood clamp style, which will mount onto the hood mounting hardware itself, which requires you to take it apart and slide it in and then bolt it back up again. The other type, there's ones that will mount directly on the A-pillar, mainly more common with Jeeps. But these give you a big versatility in this position, because now you don't just have your lights pointing forward. Now they're pointing outward. So that's where it comes into being a little bit more critical. You're seeing the side of where you're going and what's around you is probably one of the most critical things you could ever do out on the trail. So obstacles that you may encounter or come across would be trees, boulders, washed out trail. We've had quite a few of those on several ventures we've been on where it's like you didn't see the drop off either. You just looked out and the trail was gone. So this position does need a special light. So this would be a driving beam that you would want in this position to throw the light out as wide as you can. Now, the main goal on this part is filling in the blank spots that your headlights would leave if you're going down the trail at night. So you can then see a lot more clearly. You're gonna avoid having a bad night from rocks and boulders and whatnot that may be out there. So size-wise, you do not have a lot of real estate in this position. So 3 to 5 inch pods are ideal. Now, you're gonna wanna also know that if you got anything bigger than that, it's gonna catch wind noise and just be overall too bulky. Now for me, I have mounted from AUXITO The 3.5-inch Explorer 1 series right here in an amber driving beam. Now, why amber, you may ask? Well, because when I'm on dusty trails, it cuts through all that and does not blind me and have any light bounce back at me while I'm driving. So your roof, this is where all your big dog lights would go. This is where you would mount something as big as a 7-inch lights, or even maybe a light bar as well. However, it does come with some small drawbacks, some legal, some more annoyances. So legal first, this is the first area that most people will see as you're going down the trail. So cops will notice you if you're on the highway. So something to keep in mind. Another thing as well, now with certain size lights, it's particularly maybe the 7-inch round lights, you can create a wind noise at highway speeds. However, in my configuration with these 4.5-inch lights from AUXITO as well, they don't create any excessive wind noise than what you hear already from the vehicle in a stock form. Now, another thing you want to consider when you have lights up here is what kind of beam are you going to throw? Now, my recommendation for this one would be either a combo beam or a spot beam. Now, the spot beam is your greatest light out there. It's going to cut like a laser through the darkness and light up the whole trail in front of you. A combo beam is just as good, but now you get a little bit more of a wide driving light, which is still good as well. And now with AUXITO, the cool part is they do offer this light in 2 configurations, in a spot beam and a driving beam configuration. Now, the way you would want to configure that to maybe fit your needs best is on your outside 2 lights, you configure those in a driving configuration. On your inner 4 lights, like I have right here, you want to configure those in a spot configuration. And what that's going to do is give you a nice wide arc so you can light up the whole trail and not have blind spots. And that's all we're trying to do, is give your headlights some additional, coverage. So that way you're not stuck out there missing your turn, missing the end of a trail, or even missing the branch that's overhanging just low enough to smack your windshield. So another cool feature about these lights is they have a daytime running light function. Now, they throw just enough light, but more importantly, they're gonna look really cool at the Cars and Coffee when you go to meet up with people. So another spot you probably may have not considered is also rear mounted lights. You need to know what's behind you. Now, your factory reverse lights, they work barely, or if at all. So that's another thing you're gonna have to consider as well. So now in some vehicles, you can easily mount some to the bumper back here, or maybe even somewhere along the back somehow. Now for me, if I were to have some, I would of course mount them onto my roof rack right here, bolt them up and point them pointing downward. Now you may ask, well, what kind of beam should I use? Well, a driving beam, something that provides a nice wide arc so you can have coverage on both sides, so you know you're not gonna roll off the trail back into something. So now, what color would you want to pick for back here? Now, if it was me, I'd want to pick AUXITO's driving beam in a 3.5-inch size. It's small enough, but it will cast enough light back here to help me see as I'm reversing. I definitely would want to pick a white light. Now, the reason why you would want to pick a white light is so that way you know you could see everything clearly. You don't need to have an amber in this position. So now that you have this information, if you combine these lights, you can have a vehicle that will not be left out in the dark on your next adventure. Now, I must say, I gotta thank AUXITO for these lights. This design has been a standout. So definitely guys, consider them when you're looking for lights. I'm using, of course, the AUXITO Explorer 1 series, the 3.5-inch driving beam, and the 4.5-inch spot beam as well. These lights provide ample lighting to light my next adventure, and they can light your next adventure too. So down in the description below, we're gonna leave a link for all the lights that we have named off in this video as well. If you have any questions about lights or how to set up your lights, leave a comment down below. Please like this video if you found this information useful. And if you want to see more content like this one, check out our channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.